everyone, this is a fun video I sort of had at the spur of the moment, mostly because I'm doing a lot of really big projects right now, specifically my Yu-Gi-Oh review for those who have been subscribed to this channel for a really long time. So I thought it would be a fun idea to sort of do a last minute Project Sekai tier list because I really love the characters in Project Sekai and I thought it would be fun to do like a really cool tier list. So not sure where to start. First, I think I'm gonna start by group order in which I personally read the stories. I know there's not really an order, but I sort of read them in order because I'm weird like that. Okay, so the first one I read the story for was Leonid, so I guess we start with Honami then. So Honami is a very like mom friend character. I really like that she loves apple pie because personally I am a fan of apple pie as well. But Honami, I feel, has to go through a lot of character development in order to be a character that can stand on her own. I've seen in the event stories that like she's learning confidence, but I'm saying in the main Leonid story you read, she's not like an amazing character. So I'm gonna put her in about B. I'd say Honami is kind of mid-tier a little bit, just because like she's really sweet, but I feel like there's not much to her, at least not so far in the stories the event stories I'm reading for Leonid, because there's a lot of event stories and I have a lot to catch up on. I want to say I'm like halfway through, so yeah, there's a lot of event stories. Next is Ichika, who's actually one of my favorite Project Sekai characters. I just really, unlike Honami, where I feel like she also starts with not much confidence, I love seeing Ichika gain confidence, and I really relate to her struggles with gaining, I guess, confidence and finding her voice and all that, and learning to sing better, and her love of Hatsune Miku, because boy do I feel that. So Ichika being one of my favorites, and I love her character development, and her stories are really interesting, and I feel they're super relatable to me. I'm going to put Ichika in S tier because she's my favorite. I love her. Saki, I really love her character design. Like, her design is just so pretty, so cutesy. It's like all of my favorite cutesy anime designs like in one. I love her pink cardigan and her casual clothes, just so cute. However, I feel like Saki kind of struggles a lot with the same thing of she was sickly as a child, and I get it. But I like the story I'm reading right now, which is like her learning to write music for the group or something. I forgot what the names are called because they're really long and weird. So I really like Saki's character. I'm gonna put her in A because I really like her. She's not my favorite, but I really like her. Now, Shiho, like everyone said in the comments from a Project Sekai review, she's less of a bitch as you read the event stories because it explains more of her character, and that she doesn't mean to be a bitch, but she just comes across that way. But still, characters who like come across as very mean and blunt at first aren't usually my favorite. Especially the way Shiho is done, where she genuinely, to me, feels kind of like a bitch sometimes, even with reading the event stories. But she's not, like, terrible, but I still don't really like her all that much. So I'm gonna put her in D, just because, like, she's not really... I don't find her relatable. I don't really like characters who are mean to their friends at first. It's like, I get she becomes nicer. I'm reading the stories and she does genuinely become nicer, but just not my thing. Okay, next story I read is Wonderland Showtime, which is another one of my favorite groups in Project Sekai. So I'm gonna start with Emu. I adore Emu. She's so cute. Like, oh my god, I love her. She's not my favorite, but I really like her. I love watching her try to become a little more mature as the story goes on. And I think it's really sweet how she tries to save her grandfather's park and stuff. I really love the ideas she had in the end of the first act of Wonderland Showtime stories. So I'm gonna put Emu in A tier. She's just so good. Nene, I really relate to her character a lot as well. A lot of her personal stories I read for Wonderland Showtime I found were extremely relatable. Especially the Christmas one I just found like a little too relatable. Even her love of video games, it's like, what is this, a call-out post on me? But she's not totally my favorite, just because like sometimes I feel she's a little mean towards Tsukasa when she doesn't mean to. But I still really like her character, and I love her character development, so she's going in A tier just because I really, really like her. Rui is my favorite in Wonderland Showtime. You guys know me, I love nerdy characters, and I love characters who are like a little mischievous too, so Rui is just top tier best boy. I also love his invention ideas too. I kind of wish real theme parks did a lot of Rui's invention ideas just because I feel like they're really, really cool, especially the wristband idea thing from the end of the first act of Wonderland Showtime stories. So Rui is S tier, again one of my favorite characters. I love him. Also his singing voice is like gorgeous. I love it. Tsukasa I really, really love. Sometimes I feel like he's a little too loud for me though, because when I listen to the Project Sekai stories with headphones on, and when Tsukasa speaks I feel like he's always almost going to blow out my earbuds. But I still really love Tsukasa's development from like this loud, egotistical jerk to like a really, really sweet boy who genuinely cares for his friends. So I really like him. He's not totally my favorite though, just because sometimes his loudness gets a little obnoxious. So I'm putting him in B tier. Like, he's not my favorite. He's not like, you know, Emu status, but you know, he's mid-ish. He's good. I like him. Okay, the next story I read is Nightcord at 2500. I really, really like this group. I think they have a lot of really relatable themes. And so first, I'm going to go with Enna. I really, really love Enna's story. A lot of her art-related stories I really, really relate to as an artist myself who struggles with art block a lot. And also, I really love Enna's design. Her pink sweater thing is just so cute. Also, yes, I know my avatar looks like Enna. A little weird, isn't it? But Enna's not totally my favorite, just because sometimes I feel like she comes across a little bit like a bitch. But that's just me, or at least a bitch towards Mafuyu, when it's like, damn, you really don't understand, this girl's going through it. So I'm gonna put Enna right here. Like, she's not mid-tier entirely, but she's not a get, she's not these three. But I really like Enna's character. You know, just not that much, you know, just because she's a little mean towards her friends sometimes. I get why, but, you know, she doesn't have to be. At least she's not Shiho levels. At least to me. Ichika is my favorite in Nightcord at 2500. I sort of relate to some of her stories in terms of, like, feeling the need to constantly create even when you have art block. That to me is very relatable, and I just think her singing voice is just really beautiful. Like, her cover of Reborn is like literally gorgeous, like one of the most beautiful songs in Project Sekai. So and I really love Ichika's development from like kind of just a hikikomori to like slowly opening up and coming out of her shell a little bit and standing up for her friends. It's just good stuff. So Ichika is an S tier. I adore this girl. Mafuyu is a character I just feel really, really bad for because she has such a shitty home life. Like, this girl has been through it. But the thing about Mafuyu is that I feel like, yes, I know she's not supposed to have a lot of personality because the whole point is she's trying to find a personality, but having a character with a deep lack of a personality is hard to cling to or enjoy when you don't have a personality to attach to. And for a lot of people, I feel like Mafuyu is one where it's her backstory that's more relatable, because I saw a lot of comments in the recent Nightcord at 2500 story on the Japanese servers where everyone was saying they really, really relate to Mafuyu's home life and her backstory. For me personally, no, but I really, really love Mafuyu's design. I love watching her slowly develop from someone who feels empty to slowly gaining a sort of inner soul, if that makes sense. So I'm putting Mafuyu here just because her severe lack of a personality sometimes is really hard to attach to, but it's not meant to be anything negative. I still really like Mafuyu. Next is Mizuki. Really love Mizuki. I love their story, and I love the heavy hammering that they are transgender female. At least I'm like 90% sure. The reason I say they them is because Mizuki currently does not have their pronouns like fully explained in the English version and even in the Japanese version, so they could be non-binary, trans female, but the transgender symbolism I feel is great representation. And even though a lot of people complain that Mizuki should just say she's trans, I really like the story and the fact that she feels insecure that people won't like her if they find out that, I mean not her, they. I really like that they feel insecure in the fact that people maybe won't like them when they find out that they, are different in that way. I don't know, I just really like Mizuki. I like their personality a lot, and their clothing is just top tier clothing in Project Sekai. Like every fucking CG with Mizuki or card with Mizuki, just the looks are out there. So I'm gonna put Mizuki in A tier just because I really like them, but they're not totally my favorite, if that makes sense. Next is More Jump. More Jump is kind of my least favorite group in Project Sekai, mostly because I feel like a lot of their story, I don't know, it's just a bit meh to me. I love the character designs for More Jump, especially She-Ho's older sister. I think she's beautiful, but I don't know, like I'll read the stories for More Jump and I'm just not very invested. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the idol culture thing, maybe it's, I don't know, some characters feel a little meh by comparison. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the weird one. So I'm gonna put most of them in mid-tier just cause like they're not totally my favorite. I really love Shizuku though. She's beautiful and I really love her personality. I think she's very cutesy. So I'm putting her just a little higher than the rest of her group. Again, I'm not saying More Jump is a bad group. I love their songs. They're very cute characters, but they're not my favorite, if that makes sense. And lastly is Vivid Bad Squad. Another group I really like. Not my favorite, but I really like them. So Akito, I didn't like his personality at first. I felt like he was kind of a jerk. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He is Enna's little brother. But over time in the story, I really liked him. I felt like the whole Rad Weekend thing needed explanation. And after reading the Rad Weekend, explanation story, I felt like it made more sense to why he's so desperate to surpass this. He's not my favorite though, even singing wise he's not totally my favorite, so and even mostly just personality wise he can be a little mean. So I'm putting him in C tier just cause again he's not totally my favorite. I really like An's design. Her personality is a bit overwhelming sometimes just cause she's really I guess technically in your face. At least in the main story she felt a little in your face. I really like that she's kind of getting this wake-up call that her friend here, whose name I completely forgot like a dumbass, sort of getting a wake-up call that her close friend here is technically speaking the better singer than her, which is a sad moment. So I'm putting her here just because I'm starting to really like her character development and how she's learning her friends are technically better than her, and she's kind of getting a wake-up call that just because her dad was at one of the best musical events in the city doesn't mean she's hot shit. So I really like that. Okay, I had to pull up the wiki for a quick second because I'm a dumbass and I always forget Kohane's name somehow, but Kohane, I really like her character and I love watching her learn confidence and learning to sing with her heart out and stuff. I just think that's good shit. That's really good. I love her outfit too for Vivid Bad Squad. I genuinely want to cosplay it because it's just so cute and so good. So I'm going to put Kohane here. I really like her character, and I love watching her development, but she's not my super favorite in Vivid Bad Squad. Toji though, absolutely my favorite in Vivid Bad Squad. You guys know me. Just like I said with Rui, I love nerdy boys, and I love the angst with Toji having to learn that his dad is a piece of shit and rebellion and all that. Good themes, good stuff. Also, I really love his singing voice, and I feel like the Vivid Bad Squad like underuses his singing voice a lot. I don't know, I just like in Ifudodo, I really love his voice. I just wish Ifudodo had like separate covers for each character, but oh well, what can you do? So I'm putting him here. He's my favorite in the Bad Squad. Love him, best boy. And finally are the Vocaloids, my favorite part of Project Sekai. I love seeing my favorite Vocaloids here all the time. Kaito is one of my favorite male Vocaloids next to Gakupo, VY2, and a few other male voice banks, so you guys know Kaito's going up here. I also love Kaito's interpretation in Wonderland, Showtime, and Vivid Bad Squad. Personally, for me, if you watched my Vocaloid headcanons video, I feel like Vivid Bad Squad is the closest to how I envision Kaito in my head, except a little more himbo and obviously married to Meiko. Len has always been a voice I really like, but his personality in a lot of the Project Sekai groups are not totally my favorite. I really like him in Nightcord 2500 though, just because I feel like it's such a stark contrast from his other, like, interpretations. I don't really get to see Len be this shy, scaredy cat too often. So I'm gonna put Len here, also because Len is a bitch to tune, mostly because I'm not good at young male voices like Len and Oliver and technically Fukase. Luca is one of my favorite female Vocaloids, so she's going up here. Luca is queen, we stan a queen. Meiko is another one of my favorites, though I feel bad for Meiko. She gets the shit end of the stick so much by Krypton because her NT voice bank, at least her singing one, is so bad in Project Sekai. It's gotten a little better with some events that I've seen going on the Japanese server, but as it is right now, oh my god, Meiko, this poor girl. I really love her personality though in Vivid Bad Squad. I just really love the whole, like, she's the mom friend. She's there to give you hot chocolate and advice. Like, that is so wholesome. So Meiko's going here just because I really love her personality in Vivid Bad Squad and Wonderland Showtime because she's just so cute there. Miku, you guys know me. I love Miku. You can't go wrong with a classic. So Miku's going here. I really love how different each Miku's personality is in every single group. The one I feel is the closest to how I interpret Miku though is probably more Jump, except maybe a little more airheaded. But that's just me and my interpretation of Miku. By the way, for Meiko, the closest to my interpretation is actually Vivid Bad Squad. Again, Vivid Bad Squad is out here just like listening to my interpretation video, I guess. And Rin going S tier because Rin is one of my favorite Vocaloids. I adore her voice, her personality in a lot of the groups is my favorite. Personally, I think her in Vivid Bad Squad, as funny as this sounds that I keep saying that each one is like the closest to I interpret them, but I adore her in Leonid. She is so cute in Leonid. I love her personality there. I do wish there were more Vocaloids, but you know, Krypton is a little stingy, so as much as I wish Teto, Gumi, and a few other Vocaloids were in there, sadly, they're not. That would be it though. As you could see, nobody was in the F tier because nobody is terrible in Project Sekai. If anybody thinks anybody's terrible, you are wrong. Just kidding though. Everyone is valid to their own interpretation. So let me know down below what you guys think of this list. Do you agree with it? Do you not? Was I wrong in saying Shiho is still a bitch? As always, let me know down below, and let me know if you like these tier list videos. I've done them a couple of times. I know I did them once for my husbando tier list. So let me know down below if you like this video, if you want another video like this. So see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching! If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new. If any of you would like to help support my channel in any possible way, my Ko-fi page is down below in the description, along with all of my social media. For any subscribers, new or old, who'd like to help with video ideas, or maybe just want to talk about anime or something, I have a fan server linked down below. See you next time!